Walabot DIY 2 stud finder, and it is way more than just a stud finder. You get the Walabot, a case, a set of connecting rings to attach the device to your phone, all wrapped up for a perfect DIYer gift. Check out these instructions. Get started with download the app, and that's it. Just to show you how easy it is after that, let's set it up. Okay, I've got the DIY 2. Let's click on that. Now it does use Wi-Fi to communicate with it, but you don't have to be connected to a Wi-Fi signal. Just have your Wi-Fi on and you're set. Later. So right off the bat, it does say that this is best or should be used for gypsum board or drywall only. I'm sure you can figure out some hacks to do it on other stuff, but we're sticking with the drywall on this one. Make sure you calibrate before each use. It is very simple. You just move the sensor around in a circle and it is done in about 15 seconds. The Walabot has two modes, image and expert. The image mode gives you a pretty graphic and a description of what it's seen. Let's take a peek behind this wall. It can see metal pipe. This is a copper one. It can do steel, and it can also do PVC. Then we got, of course, a stud. Of course, it can do that. Next up, a wire. Now, it actually, one of the cool things is it does not need to be live or hot. It can just still detect it when it's just the wire itself. It does say it can do metal studs. I don't have any metal, but some of them are made out of aluminum. So my aluminum level, it reads it perfectly. And then lastly, another stud. Not very likely that you'd have the pipes directly up against the drywall, so I did offset them 1.5 inches. And the wire too. That's all fine and dandy. What are some of the cool features with it? Well, it will tell you the exact center of that stud. Up on the app, you've got those two little lines telling you right where it's at. That is important because if you've ever done any type of construction, you will know that lots of times drywallers will miss the middle of the stud, and so if you are using a magnetic stud finder, it could screw you over. So what does expert mode do for you? Well, it is setting the raw radiomagnetic waves back to the device. Most of the time, it just looks like some big circle heat maps, so typically you will want to be on the images mode. It's a lot easier to follow. But there is one thing where I've found it helpful. Lots of times there will be wiring coming down the wall next to a stud. So right here we've got that situation with a stud and then a wire, and I want to go over to the image mode just for a second to show you that it does pick it up sometimes, but sometimes it is just a very brief, like I said, just a second, just a little blurb of that wire, and then we're back to the stud. So let's go back to that expert mode, and in conjunction, let's try to see if we can find those two distinct wires and stud right there. So we're getting two little blobs, and maybe we can see, well, let's change the intensity just a little bit and see, and right there we're able to actually get two distinct blobs, one showing the wire and one showing the stud. So as mentioned, you can go back and forth with the intensity. If you raise it up too much, it's just going to mesh together and you're not going to be able to get it together. I mean, you go really high, you can fill the entire screen, but let's say, I don't know, looks like about 35 to 40%. I'm at 43%, getting two distinct blobs. Another side note with the expert mode, since it is some raw data, you can actually see movement or maybe even a little furry friend. It is expensive, but being able to see so much more than just a stud is worth it. And despite the name, it's not just for DIYers. Coming from the DIY Pro. See you next time.